Minchell here again with the Cincinnati Throwing Club. We're here to continue our series on the lower half. If you haven't already, please check out our previous YouTube videos on the lower half, which include spikes in the ground, against the rubber, making energy throughout your heel, through the kinematic process, coming up through your torque integrity, which is through your back knee, and into your back hip. And as you're rotating, throwing that energy into your hips, which will come into what we're going to talk about today, front leg brace, comes up through your torque and your hip to shoulder separation, and eventually out your arm. Okay, so if we're going to start off where we left before, right here in our torque integrity, okay, we've got our back leg is working a little bit against us in a counter. Okay, our right knee for a right-handed pitcher is pointed in about the 5.5 hole, getting that maximum torque. Right, we've gone to pelvic tilt. We've got one hip that's above the other. Pelvic tilt, and now we're going to start working our way down the slope. Working our way down the slope. Okay, as we've seen before, if guys' hips are the slope's running this way, okay, if we see that a pitcher's hips are running parallel to the ground and not the slope, they're going to start running into trouble pretty quick. They're giving away, it's an energy leak, that's a velocity leak. They're giving away energy because it's momentum coming down the slope that's important. So as we're coming down the slope and our foot starts to drop, which is going to level the hips, as we're coming down, we're getting some distance now from the rubber. Okay, what we train our pitchers to do is to pretend that there are 3 tripwires on the ground. So they make a half moon as they start to sit into their delivery. Their glutes are holding their delivery. Boom, here. I have seen a lot of pitchers, do a lot of different things over the years, but this is what we're teaching now that seems to have the most success. They're able to hold their delivery here, strength of their legs, their glutes, working their way around, landing heel. Okay, this is a soft heel, not a hard heel strike. If you can develop that for yourself, it's a short walk forward. Start here, pelvic, and work our way around the half moon, tripwires, soft. Okay. Now what we see here is when pitchers are pushing too hard away from the rubber, or they have maybe too short of a stride, and that can be interdependent. Okay. If they land too hard, they'll get into this position where their knee is now out over their midline of their foot or heading towards their toes. That is basically unrecoverable for a pitcher trying to get into front leg brace properly. They may end up their delivery and pop up in the leg brace, but it's too late. By the time they've released the ball, they look like this. They're already too far, and then they pop up. And that really didn't do its trick, didn't do the job. If we do our job properly, stay behind the front leg. I now have my throwing window. It's right here. Okay, I'm in the pocket, a little bit of counter. As I start to rotate, I'm not pushing. I'm rotating. This knee is going to come around. And the heel's going to eventually come up with energy. And it's going to pop this knee back, this knee in this direction. The femur has rotated underneath the pelvis. And while that's occurring, I've now pushed my other hip back. My pelvis is centered this way. I'll be in this throwing position with max hip to shoulder separation. And that's what creates maximum torque. So it looks a little bit more like this. I'm trying to hold it as best I can. Okay. With that configuration, you will generate maximum hip speed. The more hip speed that you have through the kinematic sequence comes out your hand a lot harder. It's the old Iron Mike theory. And if you look up Titleist Performance Institute, you'll see the old Iron Mike that they use to test golf clubs and golf balls. Comes through, whips really hard. Same principle here. We want all that energy to roll up through our legs, through our hips, into our torso, torque, find our whip, boom, out the hand. It's estimated that throwers that are in that 4 to 5 mile an hour range, they usually average anywhere from 78 to 82, maybe 83 miles an hour, topping out 84. you get into 6 mile an hour range, that's when you start seeing 85 to 90. It's good hip speed range. Once you start seeing 8 miles an hour, now you start seeing elite level throwers. The Noah Syndergaards, the Jacob deGroms, the Roldis Chapmans, the hard throwers in the game, and I know we're leaving several out, but the harder you can throw your hips, stay behind your front leg, get your nose over your toes, get into your delivery, get that last bit of whip out, the harder that you can throw. But more importantly, this seriously affects your ability to throw hard breaking balls, sharp slider, good hard rotational curve ball that you can all measure on Rapsodo now. So I hope this helped you for the day. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us below. We will try to get back to you as soon as we can. Always check in with us for regular updates on our YouTube channel. Until next time, this is Eric Minshall with the Cincinnati Throwing Club.